I started doing serious fragrance collecting in around the year 2018. And of course, the scene back then was very different to how it is now. I've worn and collected hundreds of fragrances since then. I've explored designers, Middle Eastern, niche. I thought it would be interesting to do a video today where I would pretend like I have to reset my entire fragrance collection to 0 fragrances. Let's say I actually do move to another country and have to reset my collection. How would I do today, trying to think about how I was as a beginner back then and how my taste kind of was back then, and obviously it's now transformed since, but I thought it'd be interesting to see realistically what kind of fragrances are best for beginners in today's climate and what are some of the best fragrances in general that one can buy in the market. Let's begin. Now, starting off a new collection, realistically, I'm going to go on the popular platforms for fragrances, which is going to be something like TikTok. I feel like if I was a beginner today, I'd probably not have Jeremy anymore. I had Jeremy back in the day. I was really influenced by him, but that was back when he was a bit more normal. Nowadays, I probably would be on places like Instagram or TikTok, and I'd see people hyping up Jean-Paul Gaultier all the time. So there's going to be 2 Jean-Paul Gaultiers in today's theoretical collection. And this is probably going to be the first one I would buy as a beginner in today's climate. That is Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau Le Parfum. Although not my favorite from the line, I do think as a beginner it's very friendly, it's very interesting. I would see the notes and be quite intrigued. Pineapple, iris, woods, coconut. It's got a lot of tonka, very creamy, very nice tropical but balanced signature fragrance. I would say it's more youthful. I think as a beginner you love this. It lasts a really long time as well, around 10 hours with medium projection. I think it is a very sexy fragrance. I just feel like it's very solid for beginners. You can get much worse fragrances for beginners than something like this. I feel like when I was a beginner in 2018, you had Jeremy, but you just didn't have as much information as you do generally now. I feel like nowadays it is a lot better. I do think this is a masterful blend by Quentin Biche. He knew what he was doing. It's very good designer perfumery. I would be very happy to have this as a beginner. A nice way to start off a collection. Is very versatile as well. Day and night, pretty much all year round. Maybe not in the summer daytime, maybe it's a bit too thick for that. And then for versatile fragrance number 2, I'd probably get something that's in the Creed Aventus family. I would say that Creed Aventus is hyped, it has a billion clones. I would inevitably learn about all the different famous clones. And of course, we have the Club de Nuit Intense Man line. This is Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense Man limited edition. Back in my day, in 2018, the Eau de Toilette was, I think, the only version you had. I think so. Maybe, I might be wrong about that, but nowadays I think the limited edition is the best version. It's the smoothest, fruity batch variation Aventus-esque fragrance. It lasts around 10 hours with a medium projection. It smells like class. It's very easy to like. I would think to myself, okay, I want to get compliments. I want to wear this anywhere. This is the fragrance to do it. By the way, guys, if you don't already know, our next release for Atrium, Mr. Opulence over here, which is kind of how this will look in the end. This is a placeholder bottle, is available to pre-order at its lowest price possible in the month of February. You can use the link in the description down below. This is a fig, honey, oud, ambergris, sandalwood fragrance. Basically, Mr. Opulence has all the most expensive ingredients in there. It's made by John Steven, master perfumer. It's made some fantastic fragrances for us so far already. You can reserve your bottle for $1 only, and then you can pay the rest of the price on the 28th of February only. And then at that point, the price goes up. The first batch of Mr. Opulence is going to have very limited numbers, by the way, and you're going to have my own written signature on the box as well as a numbered label on the bottle, so you know which number bottle you got specifically. This is our mature loud head turner. As I said, guys, check the link in the video description down below. Then I think to myself, okay, I'm mainly going to be wearing fragrances to school or to work. That's the main reason people buy fragrances a lot of the time. I want to buy something that's office appropriate and it's going to be inoffensive but still smells great. I probably go to the department store, go to the YSL section and smell this. And that is YSL's original Homme. This is a sexy ginger, ambery, warm, woody citrus fragrance that does not perform. It lasts around 4 hours on the skin and that's about it. But as a beginner, you often don't appreciate longevity as much as you can. I feel like everyone needs to get burned a few times by poor performing fragrances until they learn to wisen up. And I feel like, hey, you know what? This is not bad for a fragrance to do that to you, because I feel like the smell is still incredible. So yes, I would learn about poor performing fragrances, but I would still, I'd probably still be happy to reapply this. Just bring the bottle with you to work. I still think it's a great fragrance to own, even now as a quote-unquote advanced person. I think it's a fantastic, balanced, aromatic fragrance that stands the test of time, smells timeless. So yes, the performance is not there, guys, but I do think this is a masterpiece. I think everyone should try it out. One of the best designers out there. 37.9% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys really want to see our channel grow, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Then I would wisen up, learn about performance, maybe going for a Grantica. At this point, I'd be learning about review platforms. And eventually I want to get a Dior because Dior is the hype beast. Everyone needs to have one. I'd go for this Dior Homme Sport 2021. A fantastic, fresh, citrusy, warm, woody amber fragrance. It's a bit spicy and sharp. It's very masculine, but easy to wear. It smells like luxury, a very nice beginner-friendly office fragrance as well. 8 hours longevity now, medium projection, and you can wear this pretty much all year round. Pretty much all year round. And I think it's an office fragrance you can wear all year round. It's very good, and I feel like this is not a challenging Dior fragrance. Something like Dior Sauvage Elixir might be a bit too much for a beginner. Even for myself now, I still think it's too much. So Dior Homme Sport 2021, it would suit my style. I'm a bit of an old man, so it's quite mature as well, but not too mature, so it's beginner friendly. I think this is a fantastic office scent still to this day, pretty much for everyone. Everyone should try this out. For a date night category, I would see, again, a lot of Jean Paul Gaultiers. Again, because I'm a beginner in this video, I'm gonna be having a lot of Jean Paul Gaultier, so this is gonna be the second choice here. Le Mal, Le Parfum. I would say this is getting a lot of hype, and rightly so. It's a nice modern take on the original Le Mal. I probably wouldn't go for the original anymore, even though back in 2018, I was very much all about it. I feel like nowadays, you know, the climate has changed around what are the best fragrances from this line. Le Mal Le Parfum is more modern, longer lasting, great projection as well. It's a bit romantic, powdery with that iris, a little bit animalic, warm, sweet vanilla, a little bit spicy also. A very sexy fragrance. I think as a beginner and as a more advanced collector, it's a great addition. The second date night fragrance I'll come to later, but I'd also get a stronger with you fragrance. I'd probably go for Absolutely, but I might go for any of the others. I think as a beginner, I did actually get the original back in the day. I got bored of it super quick, but again, as a beginner, another mistake people make is that they get fragrances that they don't realize they're gonna get bored of really quickly. Like for me, that was Versace Eros or the original Stronger With You. I thought they were just very safe, plain, boring. Absolutely is a bit more interesting, has that boozy rum note. It's loud, woody, warm, ambery. So I feel like this would be in the head turning category. I feel like this line is just great for beginners in general. And this is still a solid pickup. I'd probably then learn about the great value, affordable steals that some Middle Eastern houses are. I would probably learn about this fragrance here. That is French Avenue's Liquid Brun. So I believe you can get this 25, 30 pounds. And, you know, I don't know much about Altair at this point, but I'll hear that everyone's hyping this up. I'll probably just fall in love with this DNA at this point in time because I didn't smell all the other fragrances that I think are similar to Altair. This is loud, airy, vanillic, cinnamon, very nice, sexy, and inviting. A good head turner also. Excellent value for the money as well, and an excellent performer. In the summertime, back in 2018, people were hyping up this fragrance, and I feel like, you know, it's actually a testament to this release that it's just continued that hype train ever since, and it's actually really impressive how even still to this day, Rasasi Hawas will still get a lot of talk. I still think I would get this fragrance, aquatic, synthetic, of course, but it's aquatic, Middle Eastern, spicy, a bit plummy as well, loud, a beastly aquatic freshie that I would wear to the summertime and say to myself, okay, this is great. I'd probably get a bit confused because I would think that, you know, summer fragrances are meant to be short lasting, but maybe the internet would teach me that you get long lasting ones as well. This lasts maybe 10, 12 hours with medium to loud projection. You get a lot of compliments with this. Still very relevant, this fragrance to this day. The original Rasasi Hawas. And of course, I mentioned Dior in this video. I'd get a Chanel. I'm kind of shoehorning this into the summer category, but it's a versatile fragrance you can wear all year round. That is going to be a Bleu de Chanel of some sort. I got the Eau de Toilette in real life actually as a beginner, but maybe nowadays with more information on the internet, I go for the Eau de Parfum. This is clean, citrus, ambery, woody, a little bit of incense. The darkness is in here. This is a sexy, handsome DNA still to this day. It is timeless. It is still very much relevant. I'm getting around 8 hours with medium projection with this bottle. If you want the more mature version, go for the Parfum. If you want the most fresh version, you go for the Eau de Toilette. I think the EDP is the most balanced out of the three. And lastly, to finish off this video, eventually I would go to niche. And I think in real life, I didn't go to niche until, yeah, a bunch of fragrances later. So I probably only start going into niche, only one niche fragrance in this video here. And of course, it's gonna be in the day night category. It's gotta be done, guys. That's gonna be Layton by Parfum de Marly. I do think this was one of my first niche fragrances actually in real life. And I still think to this day, it would be this as well. Although I might check out the clones online, see if I actually wanna buy them instead. But I do feel like, yes, I'd eventually try out the Parfum de Marly range. They are a very hyped niche house. I've experienced Layton, powdery, apple, a little bit floral, vanilla, balanced as well. I feel like this could be your cold weather signature, but for a date nights as well, this is great. And I still think it performs fantastically, even in the modern formulation. So I still think this is relevant. A great legendary niche release. Layton would be my theoretical 2025 beginners collection. That concludes this video, guys. What are your thoughts on today's video idea? Do you think it's quite interesting? Do you feel like fragrances have changed a lot since you started collecting? What do you think of fragrances that you would start collecting now as a beginner if you collected here today versus what you actually started collecting when you first became a fragrance person? Let us know in the comments down below, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to check out our video on some of the best and safest blind buys up here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.